Welcome to this tapping session. What we're going to talk today here is a part of what we're going to work on in our upcoming workshop on March 26th. And you can join us if you want to go deeper. It's going to be at 10 a.m. Pacific time. You can attend by registering to my membership on coparentingwiththeuniverse.com/membership, and I will be delighted to welcome you there. But I also wanted to give you something to start with. If you have been listening to the latest podcast episode, that specific habit that we're going to work with today, we're going to tap on, was mentioned as one of the two most poisonous thought habits that make you parent at a lower vibration. That's why I dedicated this month to inner spring cleaning. We're in March, spring is arriving, time to let go of what is not serving, what is no longer in our highest good, and replace it with something that is supporting us almost effortlessly once you train your brain to feel a certain way and therefore emote and vibrate at a certain level on the energy elevator. So today I want to address one of the thoughts that I hear a lot from moms, and frankly that I struggle with myself from time to time. I'm aware of it now. It's less and less, but it can happen. We're not robots, we're humans. And this is the notion of, I have addressed this issue, we've dealt with that, they understood, the teen understood, they're going to change, check mark, this is done. Well, wouldn't it be wonderful if it worked that way? But it doesn't. So today, I want to address the frustration, or maybe the anger, maybe the confusion, maybe the fear, depending on whatever is coming up for you when that happens, to tap it away, to really feel it fully in your body. And like milk, when you skim milk, you tap it away to come back to a more neutral emotional state, so you can actually access the wisdom and the guidance of the universe and your own wisdom and resourcefulness. Because when you are on a state of alert, like you feel some kind of danger, your stress center is active in your brain and you don't have the full access to your frontal cortex, to a portion of your brain that can analyze, find solutions, etc. So we want to be at a more neutral state so we can actually tap into our resourcefulness instead of being so ready to fight or to retreat. Fight, flight, or freeze is the answer of the brain when we feel under a threat. And sometimes this can feel under a threat because we feel that they do it to us, just to annoy us. I've heard that from moms, that we haven't dealt with the problem in the right way, so that comes from fear, or we're fully confused and afraid because we can't see the solution. No matter what is coming up, it's still depriving you from a portion of your resourcefulness, and that's what we want to avoid. And also, frankly, we want to vibrate higher, have a more joyful parenting, more like an easier one, be more powerful as a parent. So that's what we came here to do today. If you're new to tapping, don't worry, you just have to follow my guidance, do what I do, say what I say, and you can refer to the introduction to tapping video that I have on my YouTube, where we are now, to help you understand how it works and what it does. But it's really not necessary. You can use it before you understand it and feel the best way that people understand it is to do it, because then you feel the effect on your body, and that's almost magical. It has the power to intercept the stress response in the brain, calm down your nervous system, and help you vibrate higher also. So you resonate on the energy elevator at the level of neutral, maybe hope, or maybe fully positive and joyful, depending on what's going on. So what I'm going to ask you to do right now is to pick a situation or something, a behavior maybe from your teenager. I can give you examples from my clients, teenagers not getting up for school, even though they may have set themselves, they may have been waking up for some time after we addressed the issue once or twice, and now they're again falling back into that pattern, or having habits that you addressed in the past, having behaviors you addressed in the past and thought they were a done deal, and you see that behavior again. Maybe not doing homework, maybe, I don't know, fighting. My son used to fight when we were in the US. He used to fight a lot at school because he was bullied when he was young, and he learned to defend himself. And then after that, it was kind of almost a default mode, because understand, sometimes it's a coping mechanism for something that is too hard for them to deal with. So you want to be neutral enough to be able to see that and to help them. Remember, sometimes they're going through stuff that for us, it seems so trivial, so small, and for them it's their whole world, because their whole world, especially nowadays with social media, there's so much pressure on them that we can't understand fully because we didn't grow up in that. So compassion. But in order to have compassion, you need to deactivate your trigger. So that's what we're going to do today. So pick up your story, what you want to work on, give it a title. Let's say not waking up, let's say fighting, let's say smoking weed. Not saying that you should understand that they need to smoke weed, but before you can deal with the situation, you need to be more neutral so you can be resourceful. What else? Answering back. They stopped, they were able to control themselves for a while, and now they can't. Maybe there is something harder that they're dealing with. And same thing, you need to be in an emotional state to be able to respond instead of react, because otherwise it makes things harder. So whatever the problem may be, maybe I didn't even talk about your problem, but you know it. Now, how does it make you feel? Frustrated, afraid, angry, sad, confused, or something else? Or maybe you cannot even identify this emotion. It's just an uncomfortable emotion, unknown emotion that you don't like. You just can't call it the way you want. Where do you feel it in your body? Is it in your shoulders? Sometimes people feel the tension here. In your heart, in your stomach. I feel a lot in my solar plexus here, and that's just a shadow on my it's wet. I just recorded a video earlier and I spilled some mocha on my sweater, so it's just wet. It's not a stain. I'm gonna take a sip. So what is it that you feel, and where do you feel it in your body? The next stage is for the tapping to be the most effective, for you to get the most benefit of it and really feel it, especially if it's the first time. You need to be at a level of intensity. If 0 is like I don't feel anything, 10 is like it's overwhelming, you want to be at a 5 and higher. And I promise we won't stay there. But if you have to stop the video for that, if you have to go back to a memory of maybe something that happened earlier this week, earlier today, some time ago, that still is aggravating to you, go back to the emotion. Pause the video and go back. So I'm going to assume that you did what you have to do to feel the emotion at a level that is intense enough so we can work on it. And by the way, that's something that we're going to work on in the workshop even deeper. But I wanted to give you something to work with in case you want to start working on yourself by yourself. It's possible that you work on yourself with yourself. I know that for me, even as a coach, I always have a coach because it shows me, it mirrors me my blind spots and what I sometimes I was too judgmental with myself to address. But that's your choice, and this will already be a video that you can refer to over and over every time something of that sort happens, something that you think you have dealt with, and frankly with your teens or with your significant other, your boss, whomever in your life is creating that frustration, aggravation, and story of having dealt with a story, thinking you're done with it, but yet it appears again. And the truth is, we work like that in a spiral. So we may revisit the same lesson several times, but from a higher perspective, from a higher vibration, from a higher understanding, and from an ability to bounce back into our center much faster. That's the advantage of tapping and training your nervous system and your brain to respond instead of react, deactivating the trigger. It's like a button that when it's going to be pushed at the end, like a touch screen phone that doesn't work anymore. It won't do anything. So, close your eyes, come to your story, give it a number. Where are you? 5, 7, 10. Take note of it or write it on a piece of paper. And we're going to start tapping. If you're new to tapping, like I said, you can refer to my introduction to tapping video later. You don't need to. Just follow what I do and repeat after me. I'm going to say that story. You will replace when you repeat, and the more, it's better for you if you can repeat verbally out loud, because you really are engaged from all levels with your energy, your nervous system, everything. Instead of that story, you give it your title. That not getting up in the morning, that not doing the homework, that not taking out the trash, that talking back to me, whatever is the issue. And I'm going to say frustration, you repeat it with whatever you're feeling, that weird emotion if you don't know what it is, that anger, frustration, sadness, fear, confusion, whatever you're feeling. Again, and locate where it is in your body. I'm going to say stomach, but you replace with wherever you're feeling it. So let's go. Even though that story is happening again, and I'm highly frustrated, I don't even know what to do anymore, I completely accept myself and how I feel. Even though that story that I thought we've dealt with is happening again, and that really triggers me more than what I would like to, I completely accept myself and how I feel. Even though that story is happening again, what am I gonna have to do about it? How many times is it going to reappear? I'm so tired of it, so aggravated and annoyed, frustrated. I still love and accept myself and accept how I feel. Top of the head. That story again. Here we are on the bone here. I thought we have dealt with that on the bone here. Apparently not enough. It's happening again. I don't understand. Where did I go wrong? Just under the collarbone in the soft part here. Where did they not understand bra line here on the side? What am I going to have to do with that? Is there even a solution? That's the eyebrow here at the beginning. I'm not even sure what the solution is. On the bone here, what do I need to do? I've done what I could do. I thought it was understood. And here we are again. Same old story. Are you kidding me? They know better. We've gone through that. How dare they do it again? So frustrating. I'm so frustrated. I can't even say. This is unacceptable. This shouldn't happen again. How many times does it need to happen for them to understand? How many times before they do what they're supposed to do on a constant basis? I am so tired of that. I'm almost at the end of my rope with that. And I know that doesn't help. But I can't do anything else. I just react. All that frustration in my body. All that frustration in my body. All that frustration in my stomach. And maybe for you it's in your neck or somewhere else. All that emotion in my body. I don't like it. And I know it doesn't help me find a solution. It's so annoying. Annoying and unnecessary. Not helpful. I'm even mad at the fact that I still react to that. I should be also done with that. But yet I am frustrated. Today I choose to step back in my power. Today I choose to let go of that frustration. But what if they see that I don't react and they think I'm just giving in? I can't let go of this emotion. It helps me not giving in. But I know it doesn't help me to find a solution. Because my brain is not working properly. I know that. Because my vibration is not high. What can I do? What if I could let it go? What if I could let it go and stay strong, not to give in? I can choose how I react. I can choose what I will do. This is me after all. I am the master of myself. Or so I would like to be. But I'm also human. I understand I don't always do the best thing. That frustration is not the best, but I accept myself. I accept that until now, I had a trigger. I accept that I'm letting go of that trigger. I choose to let go of that frustration. It is safe to let go of the frustration. No, it's not. I don't know what else to do. What if I could find something else to do? What if I could let go of the frustration and stay in my power? What a concept. With all that, I'm going to become a guru, I swear. Raising kids is like guru school. I choose to let go of that frustration. I choose to let go of that frustration because it doesn't help me. It doesn't help me find a more powerful solution. It doesn't help me see clearly what's going on. So in fact, if I let go of the frustration, I'm more powerful, I'm clearer and smarter. I'm letting go of the frustration and I'm getting clearer, smarter, and vibrating higher. This is the most powerful thing to do. I now choose to free myself from that reaction. I choose to let go of that emotion that doesn't help neither myself or my team. And I choose to step in my resourcefulness. I even choose to vibrate higher in a more neutral way so I can breathe and connect with my inner wisdom. I let go of that frustration, that fear, that confusion. And I decide to tap in my inner wisdom and in the infinite field of wisdom. I open myself to receive guidance and assistance from the universe. And even if I don't yet know what to do, I will be shown the right step. I will be shown the next step. I open myself to receive guidance and assistance. I open myself to let go of that trigger for more power and, frankly, easier parenting. I love the idea of easier parenting. Therefore, I let go of that trigger. I deserve easier parenting. I know it's possible to react in a nicer way for myself. Maybe it's even possible to stay more neutral while it's happening. remembering that it doesn't mean I failed at teaching them. It doesn't mean they failed at learning. It just means that it's 2.0, the next level of learning. And I'm ready to learn. It is just learning. It is safe to let go of that frustration and that reaction. It is safe to choose more peace for myself and for our relationship. And that feels so much better. Now take a deep breath. Now go back to your story. On a level of 0 to 10, where do you fall now? Normally, it should have gone down. And you can repeat that tapping, go back to the beginning, until you are at a 1 or a 2 or even a 0. And see how you're going to react differently next time. Some people may go higher in the emotional intensity, and that can happen because you connect with it. You may have tried to brush it off or to repress it and not think about it, and now you're connecting with it, so it's fully active. But that's a good thing, because when you feel it, you let it rise and you can skim it with the tapping. So just go back to the beginning of the tapping and tap again. If you have questions, I'm here, put them below. Again, if you want to go deeper, join us for the workshop. And listen to the podcast episode if you haven't done so, because there are other habits, thought habits, physical habits that I mentioned to have an easier parenting, because everything is linked. And I really wish you an easier parenting. That's it for today. I will be delighted to know the effect of your tapping, if you went from a 10 to a 0, or what was your experience with it. And if you have topics that you want us to address in the podcast or in the Facebook group, join the Facebook group, by the way, because you can put comments there that are more private than here, if you're watching that on YouTube. And that way you don't feel judged by the entire world if you have a sensitive question to ask or a sensitive topic to submit. That's it for today. I wish you a wonderful, stress-free, even though that's never going to be 100% stress-free, but as stress-free as possible parenting, and a higher vibration parenting.